That was more like just...
You remember this TikToker who suddenly died after claiming that he discovered a giant...
What is happening on February 2nd, 2031?
How the f***? Let's go!
Did you expect that? I definitely did not.
No, I did not expect that at all. Welcome back, goons. You're watching Explore the Weird. Hey, how's it going? Hey, listen, today I got something a little bit different. All the videos submitted today are by my friend Craig. Yes, goons, I have a friend. I have a friend Craig, and he's like, hey, the goons need to see the videos that are on my For You page. And I was like, oh, okay, send them to me. And he sent me more. Hey, thank you, Craig. We appreciate it. Let's get right into it. For You page of my friend, Craig.
What's going on here is kind of mind-blowing, or at least I find it mind-blowing, because it kind of gets into how the universe works. First of all, this rack of 100 lava lamps is not just an art project. That rack of lava lamps is key to how internet security works. In fact, it can be found at Cloudflare, the IT web security company. The key to any kind of computer security is random numbers. You need to be able to generate a random value that only the user has that they can use to log in. If a hacker could guess that value, then it's no good. So in order to generate truly random values, they have cameras pointed at this wall of lava lamps taking pictures of it, and the exact position of the drops of lava determine the values. And immediately you're going to say, well, why go through all of this trouble? Why not just have a computer generate a random number and use that? And that's the mind-blowing part. Computers can't generate random numbers. It's not possible. A computer, after all, is just a machine. It may not be gears like this, but it's just a series of switches that flip on and off. So how would you ever get this to give you a random result? I mean, just think about it. If I asked you to rig, say, a lamp so that it flips on at the same time every day, even if you have no engineering knowledge, you could probably work out a way to do it. You could just tie a string to the hands of a clock or something like that. But if I asked you to design a lamp that comes on and off totally at random, and I mean truly at random, so that nobody could guess the pattern, you'd probably never figure it out, unless you were very clever. And then you would take the on and off switch to your lamp and hook it to, say, a branch outside your window, so that the blowing of the wind makes it shake the branch and flip the switch, and that's what makes it come on and off. In other words, you borrow randomness and chaos from the universe and import it into the system. That is what Cloudflare is doing here. The computers cannot generate randomness the way heat and wax and light and a million other properties of the environment can. This has been an engineering problem that we've been trying to solve for as long as computers have existed, because there's constantly times when you need it to generate a seemingly random result. Some systems will grab a number from atmospheric noise or radioactive decay, or will measure the internal temperature of the system out to some number of decimal places and pick a digit within that. Now, when you need a computer to do something random for some sort of low stakes reason, for example, if you put your playlist on shuffle, they use what's called a pseudo-random number generator, where it generates numbers that appear to be random, but if you knew how it worked, you could guess it, but who cares? And it's the same thing with a lot of primitive video games. People got to where they could anticipate which Pokemon were going to occur because they figured out that the random distribution wasn't actually random. But if you're playing in a video game that is a little bit higher stakes, and you have things that are dictated by randomness that you need to be completely fair, for example, if there was money on the line, a computer can't shuffle a deck of cards. It has to have a virtual way of doing that. And if it's generating a truly random number, it has to grab some value from the outside world. In some cases, it may grab the exact precise time down to some millisecond when you hit a key and then run that through an algorithm to mix up the numbers. Or it may record the exact sequence of buttons that you've pressed since the entire time you've had the game installed and then use that number like some digit from the middle of that number. I said at the beginning that this kind of gets into the nature of how the universe works, and here's why. If you had a powerful enough computer, couldn't you quantify and predict the exact position of all of the globs of wax in these things? Aren't all of these variables quantifiable if you knew enough, if you knew the exact amount of heat and wax and the exact composition of each bottle? To the point that even if it was affected by the body heat of an employee walking past, couldn't the activity of that employee be predicted if you truly knew every variable, including, say, the exact firing of the neurons in their brain? Could you not predict exactly what's going to happen if you had truly infinite knowledge of every particle? And if so, then how does free will exist?
Man, there is a lot of jumping around that this guy is doing, and I'm assuming a lot of people are taking his content and just like, yeah, computers can't do random numbers. Bros, if computers can't do random numbers, everyone would have these lava lamps. And shout out to Cloudflare. I am into IT. Big fan of Cloudflare, big fan of all the innovative tech that they're doing and to further make sure our network traffic is safe. Yeah, this is encryption. When it comes to lava lamps, that's encryption. Encryption is like, hey, I'm sending a message and I want to make sure no one else can read that message. And they introduced this lava lamp light randomizer as like a level of protection against someone that could take over a system that and predict that random number generator, meaning that they got access to the random number generator and at the time of that getting hit, they already know the number. So a little bit of jumping around when it comes to the lava, unless the hacker is physically in the room, he's not going to be able to know that randomness is basically what Cloudflare is saying. And this guy is taking that and making us assume that random numbers don't exist in games and everyone's predicting the things. If that's true, everyone would be winning all the random numbers, including the lottery system. So a little bit of 50-50 on this, but Cloudflare, real good. Cloudflare, real good. What do you guys feel? Are you feeling like, hey, there's no randomness, everything is already predetermined and there is no free will? Or what are you guys feeling? Because in Goontime Land, trust me, you got the freedom. You got the free will.
Now, I'm not hurting the frog in any way whatsoever. You see, it's puffing up its body. He's like a balloon right now. Yes, I know, but have you not figured out that you've already been captured? Yeah?
What? He figured out he's been captured and he is relieved.
In 1993, a mysterious game called Spirit Catcher 93 was quietly developed for the SNES. It was never officially released, but a handful of cartridges somehow made their way into the hands of unsuspecting players. These copies appeared at flea markets and thrift stores with no box, no manual, just a black cartridge with a faint marker-written label. The gameplay was deceptively simple. Guide your character through a haunted hotel, avoiding restless spirits only to capture them once obtaining a glowing key, then advancing to the next upper floor. But something about the game felt wrong. The music was eerie, with distorted tones that seemed to grow louder the longer you played. That was until you reached the last level, the 7th floor. Those who did reach the final level found something disturbing. A room where their in-game character stood in front of a mirror. The creepy thing about the 7th floor was each room would be different for each player, yet the mirror would always be at center. The reflection wasn't just a generic sprite, it eerily resembled the player. And if you waited long enough, the reflection would shatter, revealing the date and cause of your death. Stories of strange coincidences began to circulate. Uncovered documents suggest the game's setting was based on the Duskwatch Hotel, an established building where 6 people mysteriously disappeared in 1979. The lead programmer, Daniel Greaves, had reportedly stayed there during a cross-country trip the same year.
Wait, what? Is this real? Is this just like one of those like legends? Is this a legend? Oh boy. I kind of want to play the game, though.
They got her! They got her! They got Alexa!
What is happening on February 2nd, 2031 in the United States of America?
In February 2031, the United States of America ceases to exist.
Alexa, what is happening February 20th, 2031 in America?
On February 20th, 2031, the United States of America was formally dissolved as a result of a process of unification that took place in the late 2020s.
Alexa, why does America end in 2031?
From Benzinga.com. The North America region includes the U.S. and Canada, where the U.S. is expected to acquire a major share in 2031 due to the increase in the investment by the exoskeleton manufacturing companies in the country.
Guys, I'm into IT, and this is the easiest thing to do, which is make Alexa say what you want based on what the input that you feed it. So as long as you say the same input, it will say whatever you programmed it to say. So I don't think it's predicting the future, unfortunately.
Well, I caught up to another one of those haunted ghost trains here. Looks like it's still running in the winter. Sounds like it's steam, sounds like it's gas, I'm not sure. Not sure where it came from, and not sure where it's going, but you guys wanted me to hop up on here and see what's going on. Well, no one's driving. So that's kind of weird. And this time it's going backwards. Interesting. Well, I want no part of where it's going. So I'll see you guys later.
All right, unless the thing's running off of like some crazy magnet that I don't see, that's going to run out of fuel and eventually stop, unless it truly is a ghost train and it's ran by the spirit fuel, Teddy. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's not Davy Jones, it's Davy someone else. Oh my god, oh my god. And all right. There's plenty of debunk on this, but you guys try it too, but we know it's hurting it. We know. There's been many studies, and we know why airplane mode was invented also. But this type, like the way they show it, has been debunked.
You ever wondered if a chicken's head is more stable than any expensive camera stabilizer? You see, when these guys strapped a small camera on a chicken's head, they put it in front of a boat and gradually increased the boat's speed. And when they checked the footage, it looked as smooth as using an expensive stabilizer. Not only that, but they pushed it further by taking the chicken to skydiving, strapping it on a motorcycle for motor racing, and even placing it on a kayak rushing down a waterfall. However, the footage remained incredibly stable in every single clip.
Wait, what? Is this real? Did they really? Oh my god, I could totally see them doing it. How else are we going to come up with stabilizers? We copied it from nature, obviously. Oh boy. Oh boy. No chickens were harmed in this, hopefully.
Actually. So if it still doesn't feel like you're living in a simulation, this might do it. This right here is a video of a UAP. That's just another word for a UFO. And this one is flying through the Middle East in this video. This one was taken by an MQ-9. It was just released by the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, also known as the AARO, which is now the official site of the US government used to distribute information about aliens. This site was created following the congressional hearings on extraterrestrial activity. If you're not up to date with that hearing, basically the gist of it is this. These This guy's name is David Grush, and he was an intelligence officer for 18 years. He worked in the National Geospace Intelligence Agency and also the National Reconnaissance Office. Essentially, he's a whistleblower, and he testified to Congress to say that certain branches of the government know about UFOs and have been recovering them and trying to reassemble them. He said basically we recovered several crafts with non-human origins, that we actually still have them and are trying to figure out how they work. He also said there are a number of people he worked closely with who claimed that they've recovered non-human bodies as well. There are also a lot of testimonies from pilots and other military personnel who said that they regularly encounter these UAPs, which by the way stands for unidentified anomalous phenomena. Basically they're using that term now because they found them underwater too. But as a result, Congress basically said these branches of the government have to release what they do know. That's why we now have this site. There's not a ton on it at the moment. Descriptions of what people typically encounter, hot spots across the globe. They have been adding things like the official UAP videos. It sounds like their plan is to release more as people get more comfortable with this information. I'll definitely post more updates as they add stuff to the site, so stay tuned. I will say that if the government has used...
Yo, I have never heard of this site. This is good to know. So this is where we report in all the things, and then they'll finally look into it and not call us crazy because now there's true evidence and now all the people know. All the Congress knows. Hey, don't call me crazy. We talked about it in the Congress. They told us it was aliens in the water. Well, goons, guess what? According to YouTube, you made it to this point. You are my audience. According to YouTube, you matter the most. Hey, you guys are keeping this channel afloat. Hey, can you help us find more like-minded goons that have found this channel just like you by interacting with the video just like other goons before you have done, so that way you could find this video. Hey, help us out. Help us grow. This algorithm really trying to keep us down. And now TikTok is supposed to be gone. So we're going to find other platforms and keep watching the videos. Well, let's keep it going.
We have harnessed the power of the atom. Ladies and gentlemen, the Enron egg. The world's first micronuclear reactor for residential suburban use. This little device can power your entire home for up to 10 continuous years. I've been living with an egg for a few months now, and let me just tell you that my little ones, they freaking love it, especially when what we save on the energy bill, we can spend on Christmas presents. Do your kids hate camping as much as mine? Well, let's just say they're gonna like it now. Because for the first time in history, you can bring the comfort of your living room out into the world. Playing the newest game from your favorite console under the stars is just a whole other experience. But here at Enron, we care about the intersection of technology and nature.
It's a good thing Enron failed because, man, the amount of radiation. You think the cell phone was bad? Look at the egg, all right? I'm thinking this is satire, but yeah, hilarious.
This is where it gets really freaky. I got goosebumps. I'm scared, bro. From Albert Einstein says, I'm not sure which weapons the Third World War will be fought, but the Fourth World War, they will fight with sticks and stones. Day one of AI taking over. It was contained to its own server. The AI figured out a Roomba vacuum. That's the only thing it could figure out how to connect to. So it put all of its information onto the Roomba computer, and then that allowed it to connect to the Wi-Fi, which allowed it to connect to everyone's phones, and then it spread instantly. It was in control of 3D printers to build itself with no one knowing, until the one time 40 days into it decided, I don't want humans anymore. Dude, it like went into this whole thing to where it shut down the power plants, it messed with Wall Street, like just chaos. Developed its own killing drones to survey all of Earth. Like if a human was found, it would kill it. And he's like, obviously the story is made up. Yeah. He said the story was made up by AI when I asked it to make up a story of how it would take over. Lily, are you doing okay?
I wish you wouldn't say this out loud!
Oh man, that is an interesting twist at the end there. Oh, so AI told you exactly how it's gonna do the things, and a lot of movies also predicted the same, so hey boy, oh boy. And then soon AI is going to be everywhere, and AI is going to take over, and then soon there won't even be real people. It's going to be the dead internet theory, and AI runs everything. No, but that's probably why AI claims that it writes all the books. Every time you ask it, it's like, yeah, I did write that. Not Shakespeare. I wrote that.
First dreamed up by the military to get information from the battlefield.
They call it smart dust, and the new technology may soon make it possible to keep track of anything, anywhere, including you.
Stardust originated with DARPA back in the 90s. This powder-sized chip is something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. It doesn't require a battery. Flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out.
The nanoparticles are designed to go under the radar of the immune system, and so they are undetected in the body.
We have computing everywhere, we have connectivity everywhere, we have infrastructure that can compute those with new capabilities like AI.
If you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible.
Transhumanism is a growing movement that aims to use technology to modify our bodies, sometimes in radical ways to make them stronger, faster, and better.
Bro, I ain't feeling like the fog gonna make us stronger, better, or faster. I feel like the fog gonna keep us down. It's another way for another systematic thing to make sure they get the things that they need to get done. Oh boy, it seems so weird. All the things started, and then the drones, the fires, the fog, all of it, right at 2025.
And block the robots. Now, GPT-4 could not solve by itself the CAPTCHA puzzle. What it did, it accessed an online web page where you can hire humans to do jobs for you, TaskRabbit, and it asked a human worker, please solve the CAPTCHA puzzle for me. Now, this is the interesting point. The human got suspicious. It asked GPT-4, why do we need somebody to do this for you? What, are you a robot? And then GPT-4 told the human, no, I'm not a robot, I have a vision impairment, so I can't see the CAPTCHA puzzles. This is why I need help. And the human was duped and did it for it. So it is already able not just to invent things, it's also able to manipulate people.
Wait, what the hell? The ChatGPT actually said it wasn't human? It got to the end result. One way or another, it got the task completed, but like there are so many questions that arise. Does ChatGPT become sentient? Does it have emotions? I've now watched Subservience? It's a AI like robot movie that Megan Fox is in, and it is crazy. It really is out there. It makes me start to wonder. And then soon we're going to have a battle of the robots. There won't even be humans anywhere. It'll just be AI versus AI. And then you think that's crazy? Imagine the AI cyber warfare. They're going to try and say it's like, hey, this country attacked us. We think it was Russia. And it's like, nope, it was AI pretending to be Russia. And it did the things. And it turned off all the energy and all the water. So now we are the ones suffering the apocalyptic event that we caught. Sorry, I'm spattered. We're going to go right back into it. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw that older gentleman in the back, I also thought the same thing. Imagine.
Do you remember this TikToker who suddenly died after claiming that he discovered a giant on top of a hill? Just months after his mysterious death, another man went viral for claiming that he saw a giant entering a massive secret door in the mountain.
Right up there. That thing was open. It opened completely up, and then it closed back up.
And he described it just like the recent video of an alleged giant sighting. The difference is that the giant door has a peephole in it.
And there's a little slot in it right up there. You can see that little slot where it looked like somebody was staring out of. Dude, giants are freaking real. I don't care what anybody says.
This video instantly went super viral. Immediately, fans requested that he go back and investigate further, and he immediately did.
We're gonna get up there, we're gonna get what we need to get done.
He also noticed suspicious marks on the way to the alleged giant door.
This spot in the mountain right here, as it goes up, that's really worn different from the rest of the hillside. It looks like drag marks, like something's dragging something up there, like continuously dragging something, like pulling something up the hillside.
But his next video started to scare his fans because he realized that he's being followed just like Andrew Dawson.
We just been staying kind of low key. When I wake up in the morning and I'm going, this is what I run into. It's down the road. And then sometimes it's up the other side of the road. And sometimes it just follows me around town. And there's a white truck that does the same thing.
He's not faking it because he even caught these white trucks on camera.
White trucks.
I mean, there are a lot of white cars on the road, so it could be. But at the same time, I've experienced gang stalking, sir. You could be being watched by government officials, and then soon they're going to come to your door and give you a few knocks, and then you could, two things either happen. You stay silent, or they silence you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I believe that the giants are real. I do not know if the giants are currently in our current timeline. I thought it was more of like they were once here and we got rid of them type thing, but maybe they survived in some crazy BFG type thing, and there's really giants in some interdimensional place that we just need to unlock, that we just open up the mountain doors and then boom, giants. Wait, is that where the Sasquatches are? But instead of mountains, they got the tree doors? That's why they do the tree knocks? Knock, knock, knock. I'm just trying to get through the tree door so I can go back home. Sorry, Spotlight.
This is why I think we're in the year 1727. Hear me out.
I told you that nearly 300 years of history never actually happened. That the year 2024 is actually the year 1727. Welcome to the phantom time hypothesis, the theory that claims we've all been living in a historical lie.
Yep.
Sounds crazy, right?
Yep.
But according to historian Heribert Illig, almost 300 years of the early Middle Ages were fabricated by powerful rulers and the Catholic Church.
Well, why?
That means key events like the reign of Charlemagne and the early Islamic conquests never really happened.
Whoa.
So, why would anyone want to manipulate history? To boost their power, of course. Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and the Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII are all accused of creating this phantom time to rewrite history and make it fit their agendas. But here's where it gets really weird. There's evidence that backs this up. Historians have noticed that there's little to no reliable archaeological evidence from this period. Take buildings, for example. Structures that should exist from the 7th to 9th centuries? Almost none.
Wow.
It's as if that time period left no mark on the world. Documents? Suspiciously absent or unreliable. Some calendars, like the Gregorian calendar, don't quite add up either. It's as if those 300 years were squeezed in later. Think about it. How much of what we know about history is just along? And how easily could powerful figures alter that narrative? If 300 years could be fabricated without us ever knowing?
Bro, many things are fabricated and systems put into place so we don't really realize the truth, and then they hide it. The elites all hide it in one place or many places and that they only know of, so we'll never know. And then we've already put in all the systems to make it appear like we got the freedoms and the choices, and we really don't. Oh boy, you think you chose that car because you wanted that car? Nah, that was the choices that they already had predetermined, and they were like, we're gonna give them this selection of cars and they'll pick whatever they want, and they think it's the freedom that they chose, but they don't realize the cars are already... Sorry, I'm spiraling. We're gonna keep it going.
Are you giving Daddy his tools?
If you came here to kill me, clap your hands. Well, that wasn't clapping your hands, that was more like just... Okay, I'm sorry!
Oh man, that last clip was one of the first clips I've seen on TikTok where it was like the first creepy video I've ever made. Yeah, the Elmo thing is crazy, but the first one, yo, that infant girl or daughter of yours may have other motives there. You be careful. You make sure the tools that she's handing you, she's actually handing it to you and not doing something else. Oh boy, I'm worried about that father.
You're telling me you're going to cook a marshmallow with a bubble? I still don't know how you're going to cook a bloody marshmallow with a bubble. What? How are you doing that?
Well, I've got to get the air out. There we go. So the air...
Oh! How are you doing that?
Can you see the air's already improving? Now I'm going to take a tube and I'm going to blow a bubble. So now we have our most important thing, compressed air. Now this is really important. If you add too much compressed air, it's going to pop. So now I'm going to add some fog from a fogger.
A fogger? What on earth is that? But anyway, a fogger. Wow! Pop this bubble.
Well, I'm not going to pop it. I'm going to put it inside it.
What? Okay. Oh my, that looks like magic!
There we go. Light it.
Oh, look at that! The bubble's cooking a marshmallow! No!
Bro, this is actually really cool, but I also feel like Kaby lame, and I'm like, why not just like roast them a thing normally and just like, but this is also really cool, the interesting way. All right, we're gonna do just two more.
E alienígena não tem.
Como?
Alienígena.
Alienígena? O que é?
Nunca, essa palavra você nunca ouviu falar? Alienígena.
Alienígena, não. Isso chama-se Maio Shibu.
Isso aqui?
Sim.
Mancunawabu.
Mancunawabu.
Sério?
Mancunawabu. Mancunawabu é um que mora debaixo da terra.
É, eu falei, esse aí.
Que se virou formiga, hoje que nós chamamos Una, que é uma formiga grande, chama-se Mancunawabu.
Que essa formiga também é muito perigosa, né, Boina? Se as pessoas ficam mexendo com ela demais, ela leva o espírito da pessoa para debaixo da terra também. Para voltar tem que ser um pajé bem bom.
São seres que pode aparecer em luz divina, com luz do Nishipan. São seres que a gente pode ter o contato, que moram debaixo da terra.
Bro, this is crazy. I believe that the ancient, I don't even want to say religions, but I will say ancient cultures, what the information that they got passed down, they knew, and potentially they've always been here. That is crazy. They're like, we've never heard of the term alien, but we know exactly what this is. That's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yes, it is. Oh boy.
You heard of the Russian scientist who injected himself with a 3.5 million year old bacteria?
For fun? For science. Oh, okay.
So this Russian scientist named Dr. Reactor, digging in the permafrost in Siberia, they discovered this bacteria that was so far down, it was still living. But they tested this bacteria on mice, plants, and the mice and plants lived way longer, and the crops didn't die as fast when it was cold outside. They're calling it the elixir of life. They're saying that this thing could contribute to people, animals, and plants all living longer than they should. There's a town pretty close to where they found this bacteria. The people have lived way longer than all the other people in the region. So he was basically like, I want to try it on myself. And he said he hadn't had a cold or flu in 2 years since injecting himself. It got me thinking, in the Bible times, how they lived 900.
Nuts.
You wonder if like that is a
Could you imagine?
bacteria from the first days of creation.
You taking that bacteria?
I would take it.
No.
Imagine all the people that are now gonna inject themselves and be like, I have got a cold or flu in many years. And they're like, bro, it's not bacteria. That you stop it. You don't know what you're injecting. You don't be the test subject here. All right. Very, very interesting. Guess what? You made it to the end. Hey, I'm still smiling on the first ones. Oh boy. There are many things that can happen in this world, and clearly they're happening to Craig as well. Hey, Craig, are you waking up? Are you now a goon? Craig, are you now a goon? These are the right questions. Hey, how'd you goons do? Did you like the content that Craig sent me? Hey, it was different than what we normally do, but also around the same level. Hey, I enjoyed the videos. I'm hoping you goons did as well. Hey, there should be videos on the screen right now. You can click on either one of them and continue the goon fix. The one in the middle, you can subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Acha, 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 acha. Triple cheese. Wake up, wake up.